Hello friends, how are you all doing? Today we are diving into the story of the movie Foster. Friends, there are some movies that skip an introduction, and this is one of them. The story begins with a couple named Joy and Alec. They visit a doctor, and sadness is clearly visible on their faces. The doctor informs them that all of Joy's reports are normal. This means that Joy is unable to conceive due to some mental trauma. From the doctor's words, it's evident that Joy and Alec are yearning to hear the cries of a baby in their home. While Joy waits at the doctor's office, a stranger hands her a paper from an orphanage. Joy takes the paper home, shows it to Alec, and says, I have been thinking, why don't we adopt a baby? What do you think? However, Alec feels he won't be able to provide a father's love to someone else's child. This deeply troubles Joy. Both she and Alec have lost their happiness, and a void has formed in their lives. The next day, to Joy's surprise and delight, Alec takes her to the same orphanage mentioned on the paper. After filling out the application from Mrs. Lang, who is in charge of the orphanage, asks if they already have children. Emotionally, Joy replies that an accident changed their lives forever. Sensing Joy's feeling, Mrs. Lang refrains from asking further questions and gives them a tour of the orphanage. During the tour, Joy's attention is drawn to a child. This child seems quite different, older in his habits, clothes, and way of talking. Joy experiences a strange feeling upon seeing him. Mrs. Lang remarks all the children here are special, so we ensure they go to special homes. The process may take some time. When Joy and Alec leave, the same child waves goodbye to Joy and she waves back. They both return home. And here we know that Alec owns a toy factory that he inherited from his father. But unfortunately, the business is struggling as demand for their products has dwindled and the factory is incurring significant losses. Meanwhile, Joy writes children's books and runs a bookstore, but she hasn't written a new book in a long time. One day, while Joy is home, there is a knock at the door. When she opens it, she is surprised to see the same child from the orphanage standing in front of her. The child smiles and says, Your application has been approved, and Mrs. Lang sent me to you. The child, named Ellie, presents a form containing all his details. Joy immediately calls Alec to inform him about the situation. Ellie enters the house and instead of asking to watch cartoons, requests to turn on the news channel. This strikes Joy as unusual because Ellie's behavior isn't like that of a typical child. Alec returns home shortly after, and the couple takes Ellie back to the orphanage. On the way, Ellie is discussing serious topics such as the state of the country and the economic recession. Joy and Alec laugh, wondering how a child could talk about such serious matters. Upon reaching the orphanage, they find out that Mrs. Lang is unwell and hospitalized. An accountant reviews the form and says everything appears to be in order. Final discussion will take place once Mrs. Lang returns. In the meantime, you can keep Ellie with you. And then back at home, Alec struggles to feel comfortable around Ellie. Joy tries to discuss Ellie with Alec, but he brushes her off. Joy realizes that Alec hasn't fully accepted Ellie as their son. That night, while Joy sits alone, Ellie approaches her with a book and says, Tell me a story. Joy happily obliges, sharing a story with him. Slowly but surely, Ellie begins to integrate into their home. The next morning, when Joy wakes up, she finds Ellie watching her intently. Ellie tells her that Alec left for the work early in the morning. In reality, Alec had gone to the bank to apply for a loan so he could pay his employees' salaries. However, the bank refuses to approve the loan because he is already in debt. At the factory, Alec speaks to his employees and tries to reassure them, saying, Please manage for a little while, I will pay your salary soon. Meanwhile, Joy and Ellie go for a walk in the garden where they encounter a peculiar beggar named Mr. Potts. Mr. Potts says something strange to Joy and mentions the date May 15, 2007. Joy is stunned upon hearing this. The next day, almost all the factory workers walk off the job, leaving only an older employee named Tom. Alec informs Joy about the dire situation. Joy tries to console him, saying, Don't worry, we can get through mortgaging. However, when she learns that Alec has already mortgaged the house, she becomes furious and storms out of the house. During this time, Ellie asks Joy about her relationship with Alec. Overcome with emotion, Joy shares that she and Alec have known each other since high school. Everything was going well, but over the past few years, their lives have faced increasing challenges. The following day, Joy enrolls Ellie in school. However, during lunchtime, Ellie skips school and takes a taxi straight to Alec's factory. There, Ellie tells Alec, "Your toys are outdated. Kids these days prefer remotes and electronic toys." Alec is struck by Ellie's words and begins to reflect on them. Soon he involves Ellie in the factory's design process. At Ellie's suggestion, Alec comes up with the idea of a mystery box containing 5 old-fashioned toys. The next day, Alec invites potential buyers to a presentation of the mysterious box. When Ellie steps onto the stage, the audience initially laughs at him. But undeterred, Ellie delivers his presentation with complete confidence, and that a businessman asks from Ellie what is inside the product, and then Ellie says, "If I told you what's inside the box, how could it still be a mystery box?" Then the traders are impressed by his words. A Japanese couple immediately places an order of 20,000 boxes and other buyers soon follow. Alec is thrilled by this success. After this triumph, Alec celebrates with his family. He tells Ellie that he can now call him dad. Both Joy and Ellie are overjoyed by this heartfelt moment. One night, Ellie meets Mr. Potts again and says, "Now Alec and Joy have learned how to live their lives again." Potts whispers something to Ellie, hinting that Ellie's time with them is nearing its end. The next day, Alec and Joy invite Mr. Potts over for Christmas dinner. During dinner, Potts enjoys himself with everyone and brings a lively energy to the gathering. Later that night, Joy goes to put Ellie to bed. Ellie asks her, "Do you believe in angels?" Joy doesn't respond, as she is eager to share some wonderful news with Alec. Joy reveals to Alec that she is pregnant. Overjoyed by the news, Alec rushes to tell Ellie, but Ellie isn't in his room. Instead, they find only a letter. At that moment, Joy receives a call from the orphanage. The accountant informs her that there is no record of a child named Ellie in their files. Joy is stunned by the revelation. Over time, they come to understand that both Ellie and Mr. Potts were angels. Joy and Alec realize that Ellie entered their lives to bring them happiness and hope. In this letter, Ellie advised them to let go of the painful memories of the past and focus on moving forward. And finally, some time later, Joy and Alec are living a joyful life with their newborn daughter. One day, Joy catches a fleeting glimpse of Ellie near the door. He walks away with a smile. This story reminds us that we shouldn't dwell on the memories of the past or worry excessively about the future. Instead, we should focus on improving and cherishing the present. The movie concludes with this uplifting message. So friends, how did you like this movie? Do tell us in the comments box and search for movie explanation. Please subscribe to Movie Recap English. See you in the next movie. Till then, bye bye. Take care.